Hi guys, on today's video I'm going to have a go at my take on a Thor's hammer. Now don't expect movie accurate, I don't do movie accurate. So let's get to it.
First thing I did was download some plans into Pepakura, which is a program that you turn 3D models into flat plans for papercraft. Now, these do have to be adjusted slightly as it doesn't take into account the thickness of the foam that you're using. So I cut out each template and you can see on there how many times I have to actually replicate those in foam. So I mark out onto the foam. This marker is actually rubbish. Roughly cut them out, and again cut to the inside of the lines and get the exact size that I need. Now you can see some of those need beveling, so what I'm going to do is bevel one side of everything to 45 degrees. So that it makes a 90-degree corner, because there's obviously two sides. So cutting at a 45-degree angle on that side. Then creates a 90-degree corner. So I'm using contact cement again. And once all those have been applied, and then you allow it to dry till it's just stopped being tacky, it'll then stick to itself. Stick them together. And it is an instant grab, and it is very strong. This is the last join for the main body. Bit of a out shot there, sorry. So this is just cutting where the handle's going to go. This is the handle, which is just some PVC pipe that I had lying around. I've actually filmed it to stop it being less bendy with expanding foam. Now I'm not letting this dry, I'm putting it in while it's still wet. You can do this with contact cement. it just won't stick until all the solvent in the cement has fully dried off. So it's a good way of putting parts together that are tight fitting. So you can see there I've filled the inside of the hammer with polystyrene expanding foam, just to give it a bit more substance so it's not waving all around. The downside of this is it did make the ends bulge out slightly. Just there you can see it's slightly bulgy. This is the end caps. Now I tried originally just to make it a single layer and to cut chamfers into them. It didn't work properly, so now I'm gluing 4 layers of 8mm foam together, and which I will then, once I've got 4 layers, 8 in total, I will then put onto the bandsaw and get them cut into the correct chamfers like that. The downside of this is it is a bit solid, so not really ideal for playing mallet to mallet. Here you can see I've actually shaved the ends flatter to eliminate that bulge. The end's glued on. And this is the disc on top. I'm just using a circle cutter on 2mm of foam, and I'll make 2 discs and sandwich it together to make a 4mm height. Just stick that onto the top, which will also hold the top end of the handle in place properly as well. I decided the handle wasn't really thick enough, so I'm going to add some foam to that as well, because the handle was a bit weedy for the rest of the head. So getting a straight edge and then cutting to the width that I'd already marked using the paper. this is the strap that goes on the end. I've just cut basically 2mm wide, and I'll fold it over to make a 1mm wide handle. So I cut a channel into the bottom of the handle. I have wrapped it again on the second layer. So that is now level with the top surface of the foam. Glue those together so they meet in the middle, and then to add some strength to it, I put an old bit of paper clip in there, bend it round and crimp it together. That will stop the ends from separating when you're spinning it around your head. This is the painting. I think I did eventually about 3 or 4 layers of painting. I'm not going to show you all those because everybody knows how a paintbrush is used. I did sand between each layers. It looks white here, but it is actually a steel grey. As you can see here, as it's sort of partially drying. So this is the top of the disc, and I marked out what I want it to say and then pinpricked through onto the actual disc. And then I got some of the steel grey, add a bit of black, make a darker grey, and I will paint the lettering on, basically join the dots. So this is another piece of faux leather for the handle skin. So I decided to make a collar to where the handle meets the head, just so it hides any gap and just looks more complete. You can also see I put a collar on the end of the handle as well, just to hide a multitude of sins. Now there is actually decoration going down the length of the handle, so again I've measured the width to make the correct circumference. I've marked that on paper, cut it out of a bit of 1mm foam. Went all mathematical geometry to get the design I wanted. This isn't the same as the film. And then I mark in where the lines go, or I need to cut. But then cut out, transfer to foam and cut out 5. Once they're all cut, I then paint them up. And glue them to the handle. So it's just checking to make sure I've got the right circumference, because obviously the handle diameter changes down the length.
So there we go, it's all complete. Doesn't look too bad from a distance, like all of my projects. Bit closer and you can actually see joins and bits and bobs that aren't brilliant, but you know, I don't do perfect, never have. So there you go. If you do like what you see, please like and subscribe. It really helps me to grow the channel. Thank you very much. Now let's disappear.